So, what's the name of your company and your job title?
The name of my company is Blackfin Consulting, and I'm actually a solutions architect by title. And what that means is that I basically am a multimedia developer. I do everything from digital video to animation to game development. So I can direct and produce videos, edit videos, do special effects, do a lot of animation stuff, a lot of training and communications, and things like that for my clients.
And what are some of your duties?
Well, basically, it's pretty much whatever my clients need. When it comes to multimedia development, that could be just about anything. Anything, everything from digital video all the way to the extreme, like I have a client now, or developing an online video game. So, a wide variety of things. As long as it falls into the realm of media that would go on the web or on mobile devices, that's pretty much what I do.
What educational background is needed in order to perform this profession?
Well, my degree is in social sciences, which has absolutely nothing to do with what I do. You could be a computer programmer. There are some that do that. You could be a graphic artist. You could be a social scientist like myself. So it pretty much depends. If you're more creative and you like working with computers and graphics and things like that, then you can pretty much teach yourself everything. But the more you know, as far as I actually was in the Air Force, so I've been trained to be a videographer. So that was my profession in the Air Force. I was actually a videographer, so I did a lot of digital video, and that kind of translated, and that got me started into, and that's pretty much why I started my own company, just because I was good at it, enjoyed it, and the market is there.
So, do you speak Spanish in your job?
No, I don't. However, a lot of my clients have projects where we actually have to have multiple languages for everything because it is a worldwide economy. Some of my bigger clients like Walmart, Home Depot, Coke, Pfizer, some of the BP, those require not only everything to be in English, but they also require it to be in Spanish, French, Italian, and other languages. So basically what I do is I outsource that to companies who do bilingual translation. So when I have a project that needs multiple languages, I'll code or create everything to support those languages, but I actually take the English script or whatever, send it out, have it translated, and then put it back in.
So would the use of Spanish benefit you at your profession?
Sure. If I knew that, I could actually charge more money, because then I wouldn't have to pay someone else to do it. However, that's just not, it's never been one of those things that's been a high enough priority until probably the last 3 or 4 years to actually, need to be, and especially with people who specialize in, there are companies that's all they do is translation. So, yes, I could charge more and I could do it all in-house, but at the end of the day, I have to make some decisions about what I outsource and what I do internally. So I stick with the creative and I send that type stuff out.
Do you distribute information about your profession in Spanish?
Not yet, but it's one of the things that I've talked with our marketing. I have a marketing firm that helps market the company and helps write a lot of the content for the website and stuff like that. And that's one of the things that we've talked about is we're completely revamping the website right now. So phase 1 is to get that done, but phase 2 is we've talked about having the ability to translate the website into multiple languages, because I do have clients all over the world.
So if you spoke Spanish, does the profession exist in a Spanish-speaking country?
Oh, absolutely. I have clients. Well, Home Depot is huge in South America, for example, and that was one of my very first and largest clients actually for a long time. And Walmart is also very big in South America and is expanding all over the world. And of course, Coke is in pretty much every country around the world. And I just finished a project a couple of years ago with Coke where we went to 27 different countries and actually had to translate the whole project into 17 different languages, one of them being Spanish. So it was a big deal.
If your profession allowed a stipend for bilingual employees, would you be willing to learn Spanish and use it in your profession?
Possibly. A lot of it just boils down to time. I mean, I bill by the hour. So every hour I'm not working, I'm not getting paid. It's not like, owning your own company is not like working for somebody else. I don't get vacations. I don't get sick time. I don't get time off unless I choose to take that time, and I don't get paid. So unless the stipend was as much as I was making per hour with clients, then it wouldn't be worth my while, no.
Have you ever traveled outside the U.S.?
Yes.
And where did they ever speak Spanish where you went?
Yes. I've been to Brazil. I've been to Mexico. Actually going to Spain in May. So definitely.
In your opinion, what holds people back from learning another language?
Well, there's a lot of reasons. Sometimes it's just having the time to do it, because just like with what I do, there's a lot of things that I know how to do, but if I haven't done it in a couple of years or maybe even 6 months, it's like I'm starting over again. It's just kind of like riding a bike also. I mean, if you don't ride a bike for a year and then you come back and get on the bike, eventually you'll remember how to do it, but at first it might be kind of awkward. So unless you're able to speak the language day in and day out, it'd be really tough. And so I think for that reason, a lot of people just don't do it because they speak English every day versus speaking Spanish, Italian, or French. However, if let's say you had an assignment where you worked overseas somewhere, like in a foreign country for 6 months, well, absolutely, learning the language would be super beneficial. But again, unless you use it every single day, I think that's probably one of the main factors that cause people not to do it. The other thing is it's difficult. When you're raised speaking English, Spanish is actually pretty close to English in a lot of ways, but every language has its own nuances and own way of doing things. And just think about English. The English language has slang and everything else, so it's not just cut and dry. Every language is that way. You've got different ways, different dialects, so it makes it difficult.
Okay. So, did you take a foreign language in high school?
Yeah, I took 2. Took Spanish and French. Yeah, both of them were. I took French against everybody told me not to because it's a very difficult language to pick up. But I did it because I had the hots for the teacher, so that's why I did that. She was actually a foreign exchange teacher. Anyway, it was one of those things. I did that, and then after I did very terribly in French, I turned around and took Spanish because I had to have 2 years of foreign language to graduate.
So, what memories do you have from those classes?
Nightmares, actually. Yes. I actually, my senior year, went to Cancun at the end of my senior year. So actually, that year of Spanish, my senior year, actually paid off because I was able to go to Cancun and feel like I actually knew a little something when I was there.
So, if you had a chance to go back now, would you take those classes at a different approach?
Yeah, I probably would have just taken 2 years of Spanish versus 1 year of French and 1 year of Spanish.
Right.
But yeah, I probably would have paid a lot more attention. Of course, when I graduated, foreign language wasn't as big a deal as it is now. And especially here in the United States, Spanish is one of the fastest growing languages spoken here in the United States. So, I read articles about that all the time. And I see it all the time with clients requesting at least English and Spanish and everything. So, yeah, I probably would have paid more attention.
All right.